Hello everybody. Today we're gonna explain how to operate or use the Fluke 789 process meter. Let's start. As you can see, first step on the turn knob is the off position. Then after that you can see the voltage, the AC voltage measurement step, and to be able to use that we have to connect the red probe to the red receptacle as shown, and the black one, the common one. So the red is the plus, the positive, or where we connect it to the phase, and the black one is where we connect to the neutral. The next is the DC voltage, third and fourth is the DC voltage, volt and millivolts. So red in plus and black in minus 24 volts, or as is determined. The next step is how to measure the resistance. As you can see, when you touch both probes, you will find that the resistance drops like this. And if you want to use the sound, you can see you have to select the sound and you will use it. It will beep when you touch together. All these steps are like the standard multimeter, how to measure resistance and continuity and diode. And the next step is to measure the milliamps. Be careful when you measure the currents. You must change the position of the plus, because the milliamps are measured in series. And the next step is the thing very special about this multimeter. When you simulate the 4 to 20 milliamp for instrumentation use, like PLC inputs or anything, you can use it to simulate to any input, PLC inputs, or any type of input device, IO device, a remote IO or IO rack. You can use this option to simulate the input in order to test whether your input is working properly. It will help this option in troubleshooting, and also to test the scaling program to be scaled in the PLC. As you can see, when you use it on this option, you can use the buttons on the top in order to change the value. You can increase the first two buttons on the top on the left. From the left, you can alter between 0 and 100% directly, so you test the inputs directly. And the next one, it's used as a step. You can step it by 25%, and the next one you change it by 5% of the range, or 0.5% of the range. And the last one, you can fine-tune it. You can increase the current, the simulated current, by small values. Okay. After that, there is the next step. After that is how to simulate in steps, like to test the time response of the installation. As you can see, in the multimeter, is determined how to increase, how the simulated current is increased by step. Go from 100% then back to 0, or by two pulses, one pulse, two pulses, then by steps. As you can see, it's determined by 2 steps or 3 multiple steps. And for the last step, it's for the last step, it's as it's mentioned, it's loop power. Loop power, you have to change the connection of the probe. You have to change the connection of the probe. So loop power is used with field instruments. You can use it to power field instruments and test the field instruments. For example, you have the smart positioner. You have to connect it with this multimeter. It will power your positioner. Then it will simulate at its 4 to 20 milliamp inputs. It simulates 4 to 20 amps. You can simulate and see the response of the positioner, whether the multimeter is showing the same value as the changes in the multimeter is showing is as the same as the change in the positioner. So when you are simulating, for example, 50%, you have the positioner have to open 50%, and that's it. Thank you for your time. See you next time.